नमस्कार। ये पार्ट 3 है ऑफ यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विसेज प्रीलिम्स एग्ज़ाम्स की, जो हम आंसर की विद ऑथेंटिक रेफरेंसेस सीरीज़ देख रहे हैं। तो अभी तक इसके 2 वीडियोस हो गए हैं। अगर आपने नहीं देखे तो यू कैन चेक दोज वीडियोस। दिस इज़ पार्ट 3। इसमें हम दी नेक्स्ट 25 क्वेश्चंस कवर करेंगे। अभी तक हमने 25 करके 50 क्वेश्चन जो है ऑलरेडी कंप्लीट किए हैं। Now in this particular video we'll see the next slot of 25 questions. So let us begin. So ये क्वेश्चन होम गार्ड्स के ऊपर है, ठीक है। So we'll see the question. With reference to the home guards, consider the following statements. तो ये जो पहला स्टेटमेंट है उसको बाद में देखते हैं। Let us see the statement 2. The role of the home guards is to serve as an auxiliary force to the police and in the maintenance of internal security. तो ये गवर्नमेंट वेबसाइट है, तो वहाँ से ये मैंने रेफरेंस लिया है। तो ये बिल्कुल दैट इज़ द रोल ऑफ होम गार्ड, टू सर्व एज द ऑक्सिलरी फोर्स टू द पुलिस इन द मेंटेनेंस ऑफ इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी सिचुएशंस, ठीक है। तो ये पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट इज़ करेक्ट। नेक्स्ट, अगला जो थर्ड स्टेटमेंट है, to prevent infiltration on the international border or coastal areas, the border wing home guard battalions have been raised in some states. Yes, that is also true. Here you can see auxiliary to border security force for preventing infiltration on the international border or coastal area. तो एक border wing भी है. So these two statements they are correct. अभी regarding this, the first statement, the home guards are raised under the Home Guard Act and rules of the central government. See, there is one model act by the central government, but ultimately it depends on the state, and like एक internal security का matter है, तो it is been handed over to the state कि like they are the better judge of their own situations, so let them make the act of their own choice. However, we can have a model act like पंचायती राज, लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन का क्या है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में क्या है, एक मॉडल एक्ट बनाया था, लेकिन बाद में क्या है कि हर एक स्टेट ने अपना अपना एक्ट पास किया है। तो वैसा ही रिगार्डिंग होम गार्ड, हियर यू कैन सी द महाराष्ट्र हैज़ पास्ड महाराष्ट्र होम गार्ड एक्ट 1947। मध्य प्रदेश का खुद का एक है, राजस्थान का खुद का अलग है, ऐसे ही हर स्टेट का अलग है। तो दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट इज़ रॉन्ग। सो the answer comes, how many of the above statements are correct? Only 2, that is option B. Next, so this is about certain sections and the act. तो इसमें से हमें क्या, we'll have to identify whether those are correctly matched or not. तो statement, the pair 1, unauthorized wearing of police or military uniform, and एक्ट क्या दिया गया है, द ऑफिशियल सीक्रेट्स एक्ट। तो ये रेफरेंस है इंडिया कोड वेबसाइट पे, जहाँ पे सारे बेयर एक्ट आपको मिलते हैं। तो यस, दिस सेक्शन 6 इज अबाउट दिस वेरी मच, द अनऑथराइज्ड यूज ऑफ यूनिफॉर्म्स, और बाकी भी अलग सी चीज़ें हैं, बट हियर वी आर कंसर्न्ड विद द अनऑथराइज्ड यूज ऑफ यूनिफॉर्म्स। तो यस, इट इज़ अंडर द एम्बिट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर ऑफिशियल सीक्रेट एक्ट्स। तो दिस इज़ correctly matched. Then we'll come to option 3, celebratory gunfire which can endanger the personal safety of others. ये तो लॉजिकली मतलब है the arms act, और दूसरा कौन सा एक्ट हो सकता है। और this is the reference, see ये section 9 जो है celebratory gunfire, तो ये arms act है, तो this is also true. And then the second pair, see it speaks of knowingly misleading or otherwise interfering with the police officer or military officer when engaged in their duties. तो यहाँ पे जो पेयर है, it is given Indian Evidence Act 1872. However, this particular section, this also belongs to the Official Secrets Act. So this particular pair is incorrectly matched. So the answer comes B, that is only 2. Only 2 are, this one and this one are correctly matched. नेक्स्ट, कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग पेयर्स, अगेंस्ट पेयर्स करेक्टली मैच्ड है या नहीं है। तो यहाँ पे रीजन दिया है, रीजन्स मेंशन्ड इन ऑफ रीजन ऑफन मेंशन्ड इन द न्यूज़ एंड रीज़न फॉर विच इट इज़ इन द न्यूज़। तो पहला है नॉर्थ क्यू एंड इटूरी, एंड उसका रीज़न दिया गया है कि वॉर बिटवीन आर्मेनिया एंड अजरबैजान। तो यू कैन सी ओवर हियर इन फर्स्ट इमेज, नॉर्थ क्यू एंड इटूरी, these two regions have nothing to do with Armenia and Azerbaijan. They are the part of DRC and the conflict going on over there. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC of Congo. So this pair is wrong. Second is Nagorno and Karabakh, insurgency in Mozambique. No, sorry, this is again wrong. Nagorno and Karabakh, this is the contentious issue between the state of Azerbaijan and Armenia. ये sort of एक इसको enclave बोल सकते हैं आप within the country of Azerbaijan, but it belongs to the Armenia. और भी दूसरा religious इतनी linguistic जो और ढेर सारी false identities है. The humans have trapped themselves in the vicious cycle of vicious false identity issue. तो है ये, because of that there are those issues, so it has nothing to do with Mozambique. ये अजरबैजान और आर्मेनिया के बीच में. Then third, so this is also wrong. Then third, Kherson and Zaporizhia, dispute between Israel and Lebanon. No, ये जो है यूक्रेन में अभी जो कन्फ्लिक्ट, ऑनगोइंग कन्फ्लिक्ट है ये रशिया और यूक्रेन. तो इसमें यहाँ पे you can see Kherson and Zaporizhia, and this particular site Zaporizhia, it also houses a nuclear power plant. तो बीच में वो उसके ऊपर भी अटैक हुआ था, तो it alarmed the global community कि पहले ही यूक्रेन में एक न्यूक्लियर एक्सीडेंट हुआ था about this Chernobyl in 1986. तो यहाँ पे भी वो एक हुआ था, बट बाद में वहाँ पे टेंशन कूल ऑफ हो गए अबाउट दैट पर्टिकुलर न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट, नॉट द एंटायर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, इट इज़ स्टिल ऑन गोइंग. सो Israel and Lebanon, no, it doesn't have to do anything with these two countries. It is rather involved between the Ukraine and Russian war. So how many of these are correctly matched? None. Next, now अभी ये इजराइल का जो इशू है, इजराइल एंड अरब वर्ल्ड, द इजराइल सिचुएटेड अमंग द अरब वर्ल्ड. तो स्टेटमेंट 1, इजराइल हैज़ एस्टैब्लिश्ड डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेशन विद सब अरब स्टेट्स. स्टेटमेंट 2, द अरब पीस इनिशिएटिव mediated by Saudi Arabia was signed by Israel and Arab League. So पहले हम स्टेटमेंट 2 देखते हैं. तो अभी ये जो भी इधर प्रॉब्लम चालू है, कन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन, अगेन वही द इशू ऑफ फॉल्स आइडेंटिटी, हु इज़ क्रिश्चियन, हु इज़ मुस्लिम, हु इज़ जू, हु स्पीक फिलिस्तीनी लैंग्वेज, हु स्पीक्स हिब्रू, ऐसे ये आइडेंटिटी इश्यूज़ है, उसके बेसिस पे ये सब कॉन्फ्लिक्ट वर्ल्ड ओवर चलते आ रहे हैं. तो देर हैव बीन मैनी इनिशिएटिव टू ब्रिंग एन एंड टू दिस कन्फ्लिक्ट, बट वो अभी तक हुआ नहीं है. तो ऐसे ही एक सऊदी इनिशिएटिव लिया था, द किंग ऑफ सऊदी, ही सॉर्ट ऑफ acted as an arbitrator between these two conflicting sides. तो उसको एक अरब पीस इनिशिएटिव बोलते हैं, विच वॉज लॉन्च इन 2002. अभी रिसेंटली न्यूज़ में है वो कि उसको फिर से रिवाइव कर सकते हैं या नहीं. तो ये अरब पीस इनिशिएटिव, दिस वॉज साइन बाय द अरब लीग. यस, अरब लीग वेलकम दिस पर्टिकुलर इनिशिएटिव एंड दे डिड साइन, बट Israel was like not ready to sign it, and ultimately it had rejected this. So this particular statement is wrong, because Israel did not sign or agree to this particular Arab Peace Initiative. एक 10 point initiative है, तो वो जो point है उसमें से, तो Israel was not ready to agree on those points. So he did, the country did not sign on that particular initiative. So this statement is wrong. Statement 1 क्या था, do Israel have diplomatic relations with some Arab states? Yes, it does. You can see in this particular image like Morocco, Sudan, Egypt, UAE, Bahrain, Jordan, and I guess Saudi के साथ भी है. I don't know, but I'm not sure. But yes, with some Arab state, it does have diplomatic ties. So this statement is correct. So statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. This is the answer for this question. Next is about the sports awards, or we'll have to find whether those are correctly matched or not. So first is Major Dhyan Chand Award, Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. So we'll see ये जो Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs है, I have taken these references from that particular site. So Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award, it is awarded for outstanding performance in the field of sports by a sports person over a period of 4 years immediately preceding the years during which the award is given. And what this option speaks of, for the most spectacular and outstanding performance by a sports person over a period of last 4 years. Exactly. So this is correct. Second, Arjun Award. Arjun Award, the option says that it is given for lifetime achievement by a sports person, and here the authority, the website, the government of India says that it is awarded to a player who have exhibited good performance. यहाँ पे outstanding है, यहाँ पे good है, consistently or for the previous 4 years at the international level, and have shown qualities of leadership, sportsmanship and a sense of discipline. So this has nothing to do with lifetime achievement. So this particular statement is wrong. This pair is wrong. द्रोणाचार्य, नाम से ही पता चलता है, to honor eminent coaches who have successfully trained sports person. Obviously correct है. And final pair is राष्ट्रीय खेल प्रोत्साहन पुरस्कार, to recognize the contribution made by the sports person even after their retirement. With a view on, and the official website says, with a view to recognize the contribution made to sports development by the entities other than sports person and coaches, government has instituted a new award. So this is also like true. Means खेल भावना, द स्पोर्ट, उसको बढ़ावा देने वाले जो लोग, संस्था है, उनको ये पुरस्कार दिया जाता है. तो एक्सेप्ट अर्जुन अवार्ड, ऑल द rest 3 pairs are true. So the answer becomes option C, that is only 3. Next question. This was about 44th Chess Olympiad. So it was the first time that Chess Olympiad was held in India. True, it was for the very first time. ये पहले कहीं और होना था, that is in Russia, but because of COVID and other issues, it was like this Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Because of these two issues, it was moved out of the Russia and it was hosted by India. So this statement is true. The official mascot was named Thambi. Yes, here is the Thambi. Option 2 is correct. The trophy for the winning team in the open section is the Vera Menchik Cup, and the trophy for the winning team in the women's section is Hamilton Russell Cup. So ये जो FIDE होता है, इसका जो वर्ल्ड कप, इसे वर्ल्ड कप ही कंसिडर करिए, दिस एज अ वर्ल्ड कप. तो इसमें देर आर लाइक 2 टाइप्स ऑफ इवेंट. एक होता है ओपन एंड एक होता है फॉर वुमेन. तो इस तरह से ये कंडक्ट की जाती है. तो इन्होंने क्या किया है, मिसमैच किया है. वुमेन की ट्रॉफी का जो नाम है दैट इज़ वेरा मंचिक कप, वेरा मंचिक कप. एंड ये जो ओपन्स जो है उसका जो है हैमिल्टन रसल कप, हैमिल्टन रसल कप ये है. बट इन्होंने क्या किया है, मिसमैच किया है. ओपन को वेरा मंचिक किया है और वुमेंस को हैमिल्टन रसल किया. This Vera Menchik, she herself was ग्रेट स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन ऑफ दिस चेस, तो उनके नाम से ये विमेन सेक्शन का जो है उसको दिया जाता है। और ये फिडे का जो वेबसाइट है, फिडे इज़ द ऑफिशियल अथॉरिटी विच कंडक्ट्स द चेस टूर्नामेंट्स लाइक द वर्ल्ड कप। जैसा क्रिकेट के लिए आईसीसी है, फॉर chess it is FIDE. It is a French word, FIDE. Something stands for like Federation of International This is chess, उसका एक्रोनिम। तो एक बेसिकली वर्ल्ड वाइड फेडरेशन है चेस का। तो वहाँ से मैंने लिया है FIDE से। यू कैन सी ओपन सेक्शंस के लिए इंटरनेशनल हैमिल्टन रसल कप है, और इन्होंने ओपन सेक्शंस के लिए क्या किया है, वेरामंचिक। सो दिस इज़ रॉन्ग। एंड देन फॉर वीमेन सेक्शन इट इज़ इंटरनेशनल वेरामंचिक कप, और इन्होंने वीमेन के लिए क्या किया है, वेरामंचिक नहीं दिया है, दे हैव गिवन हैमिल्टन रसल कप। सो बोथ ऑफ दीज टू स्टेटमेंट्स दे आर रॉन्ग। सो हमें क्या पूछा है, करेक्ट। सो ओनली 1 and 2, दीज टू आर करेक्ट। सो ऑप्शन बी इज द आंसर। नेक्स्ट, अगेन रीजन और conflict. Area of conflict mentioned in the news and country in which they are located. Donbass, they have given Syria, but it is not in Syria, it is in Ukraine. This is the eastern Ukraine, Donbass region. It has two sub-regions like Donetsk and Luhansk. तो वही आ गया वहाँ पे कुछ आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस, परसिक्यूशन, ये वो, लैंग्वेज का इशू। तो यहाँ ईस्टर्न साइड में जो है यूक्रेन के, वहाँ पे जो पीपल है दे आर लाइक मोर लीन टूवर्ड द रशिया ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ वही फॉल्स आइडेंटिटीज, रेस, कल्चर, लैंग्वेज, एंड वो अल्टीमेटली वी ऑल आर ह्यूमंस बट वी हैव डिवाइडेड अमंग ourselves into these false identities and which have given rise to various conflict throughout the globe. So anyways, ये जो लोग है of the Eastern Europe, they are more inclined toward the Russia because they consider themselves as of Russian ethnicity. They speak of Ruski language and they consider they are persecuted and marginalized in the Ukrainian regime. तो रशिया ने जो है फुल फ्लेज्ड अटैक नहीं किया है, ये सिर्फ ईस्टर्न साइड में किया है, एंड वहाँ पे ये है डॉनबास रीजन, और उसका सब रीजन है डोनेट्स्क एंड लुहांस्क. तो दिस डॉनबास इज़ नॉट इन सीरिया, it is in Ukraine. Then Kachin, Ethiopia, no, Kachin is in Myanmar, so this is again wrong. Tigray, North Yemen, no, it is in Ethiopia. So all these three pairs are incorrectly matched. हमें पूछा है correctly matched, तो आंसर है none. Next, in the recent years, Chad, Guinea, Mali and South Sudan caught the international attention for which one of the following reasons common to all of them? There is one reason and which is common to all of these four countries. उसका आंसर है सक्सेसफुल कूप्स. लोकशाही व्यवस्था से जो सरकार वहाँ पे बिठाई गई है, तो उसको वायलेंट, मिलिट्री एंड अदरवाइज तरीके से उसको हटाया जाता है, उसको कूप कहा जाता है, कूप. तो ऑल दीज कंट्रीज हैव विटनेस several and successful coups over the past few decades. तो this is common among all of this. तो यहाँ पे ये रेफरेंस मैंने दिया है वाशिंगटन पोस्ट और अफ्रीकन रिपोर्ट का, you can see. Next, consider the following heavy industries: fertilizer plants, oil refineries, steel plants. Green hydrogen is expected to play a significant role in decarbonizing how many of the above industries? Answer is all of the three. तो ये green hydrogen जो है, basically it is considered as a potential replacement for fossil fuel. और फिर fossil fuel का if you don't burn fossil fuels तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जनरेट नहीं होगा, so decarbonization. तो ये सभी इंडस्ट्री में आपके फर्टिलाइजर, स्टील, ऑयल रिफाइनरी, तीनों के तीनों इंडस्ट्री में है. सो ऑप्शन इज ऑल ऑफ देम. नेक्स्ट इज this one was easy. The G20 group was originally established as a platform for the finance minister and central bank governors to discuss the international economies and financial issues. And two, digital public infrastructure is one of India's G20 priorities. Which of the statement given are correct? Both 1 and 2 are correct. See, ये G20 का वेबसाइट है, वहाँ से ही रेफरेंस लिया है मैंने. So it is, yes, it was a forum of finance ministers and the central bank governors to discuss the global economic and financial issues. That was the reason for the inception of G20. So this statement is correct. And this year, as we all know, India is the host for G20 with the theme of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So वहाँ पे जो है बहुत सारे issues, potential technologies and innovations we are pitching in for that. So this India digital public infrastructure can help developing world. G20 शेरपा जो हमारे अभिधाम कांत है ये. So ये this was one of our priority at the G20 platform. So both of them are correct. Next, with reference to Indian history, Alexander Reed, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewell, James Burgess and Walter Elliot were associated with what? Answer is archaeological excavation. This is the website of ASI, and here you can see the mentions of Sir Alexander Rees, A.H. Longhurst. So all of these guys were related to, concerned with archaeological excavations. Next site, Basenagar, Bhaje, Sittan Vasal, and they are well known for what? Basenagar Shaivite cave shrine, Bhaje Buddhist cave shrine, Sittan Vasal Jain cave shrine. First we'll come to Bhaje. Yes, Bhaje was a Buddhist cave shrine. It is located between, this is Pune and this is Mumbai. In between it, your Western Ghat, locally known as सह्याद्री. तो यहाँ पे ही वो फेमस आपका नाने घाट भी है. तो भाजे इज लोकेटेड अराउंड दिस ट्रैक्ट ओनली, वन ऑफ द ओल्ड ट्रेड रूट ड्यूरिंग द एंशियंट टाइम्स. तो ये भाजे जो है it is located at this particular area, and it is a Buddhist cave shrine. Then Sittan Vasal Jain cave shrine. So it is a small village in Pudukkottai district of Tamil Nadu and was a major center of Jain influence. So this is also correct. Now there is this, in my view, there is some problem with this particular pair. See, Basenagar is not only Shaivite, it is also Vaishnava influence. It does have Vaishnava influence. See, Udaygiri caves are in the vicinity of this Basenagar. So Udaygiri caves are 20 rock-cut caves near Vidisha, Madhya Pradesh. The famous this pillar of Heliodorus at Vidisha. तो वहाँ पे ये सब है बेसनगर वगैरह. Primarily denoted to the Hindu gods of Vishnu and Shiv. So this is the problem. This particular site has some shrines. Those are dedicated to Vishnu as well as Shiva. Vishnu means Vaishnava, Shiva means Shaivites. So both of them have influence, Vaishnavism and Shaiva. And here in option you can see only one. So I think the answer should be only two, that is Bhaje and Sittan Vasal. But let's see what UPSC does. But if you see the Basenagar area, it is not dedicated only to the Shaivite sect of Hinduism. The famous this Varaha avatar sculpture is also there at Basenagar, this particular Udaygiri caves. So it does have both Vaishnavism and Shaivite influence. So option, the answer should be B, that is only 2. Next, statement 1. 7th of August is declared as the National Handloom Day. Statement 2. It was in 1905 that the Swadeshi movement was launched on the same day. Yes, very true. ये जो है Government of India की website है, you can see the Swadeshi movement which was launched on 7th of August 1905, and this particular regime, after 2014, they decided to designate this particular 7th of August every year as the National Handloom Day since the 2015 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So yes, both of these two statements are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. Next, consider the following statement in respect of national flag of India according to the flag code of India. See, this is the flag code of India. It says that the dimension, it has to be rectangular, okay, rectangular, and the dimension should be 3:2. 3:2. So not square, rather rectangle, and size could be anything, but the aspect ratio should be 3:2. So here they have given 600 by 400. So if we divide by 2, so it comes to be 3:4, 3:2. So yes, both of these two statements, they are correct. What are those statements? One of the standard sizes of the national flag of India is 600 millimeter by 400 millimeter. The flag code says that the size could be anything. The flag can be of any size, but the ratio has to be fixed. Aspect ratio is 3:2. So yes, if it matches the aspect ratio of 3:2, that size is okay. Secondly, the ratio of the length to height, the length to height of the flag shall be 3:2. Yes, so both of the statements, that is statement 1 and 2, are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1. Now next question. The Constitution Day is celebrated on the 26th of November every year to promote constitutional values among the citizens. Very much true. Statement 2. On 26th of November 1949, the Constituent Assembly of India set up a drafting committee under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to prepare a draft constitution of India. Wrong. It wasn't the 26th of November 1949, it was immediately after the independence, a fortnight after the independence, that is on 29th of August 1947, that the drafting committee was set up. So this statement 2 is wrong. So the answer for this question is option C, that is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Next, Switzerland is one of the leading exporters of gold in terms of value. Statement 2. Switzerland has the second largest gold reserve in the world. अब इसमें क्या है, इसमें थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो सकते हैं कैंडिडेट्स. It speaks of gold reserves in the bank and not below the earth. Generally, when it comes to the mineral, we think of that, okay, it is talking about the deposit below the earth, but it is not in that context. It is key, the economy is backed, the currency is backed by how much of gold reserve. Every country has their gold reserve. So this reserve is about that context. Okay, so now let's see. So this is the exports data. Yes, the Switzerland has exported gold to the tune of 86.7 billion. That is a huge amount, and this is the first largest exporter of the gold in the world. So it is largest exporter of the, and does Switzerland has the second largest gold reserve in the world? No, it is the Germany. First is USA, then Germany, and Switzerland you can find it over here. But recently, in the last 6 months or so, or you can say in the past 1 year or so, China is like continuously buying gold. Okay, so that is something of worry to the USA. और अभी जो आपने सुना होगा द टर्म de-dollarization, है ना, de-dollarization. तो China is quite moving up the ranks, but anyways, Switzerland is not the second country to have the second largest reserve of the gold. Okay, so statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. 67. Recently, the USA and the EU have launched the Trade and Technology Council. Okay, the US and EU claim that through these they are trying to bring technological progress and physical productivity under their control. Yes, both the statements are correct. The EU and US have have created a particular institute called Trade and Technology Council. There are many such bilateral and multilateral institutes like OECD, OECD. On the similar line, this is one more institute, that is Trade and Technology Council, and the objective is to strengthen the technological and industrial leadership. So these guys want to be the leaders of technology and leadership and industrial production. Okay, so both of these statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. Next, statement 1, India accounts for like 3.2% of the global export of goods, and many local companies and some foreign companies operating in India have taken advantage of India's production linked incentive scheme. First of all, it speaks for the goods and not for the trade. Okay, and you know, India exports is dominated by the services and not the trades. Okay, so this is wrong. 3.2%. The export is like 1.6%. So this is wrong. However, this PLI, the product linked incentive scheme, which has created to boost the manufacturing and export in different sectors. Like at least there are like 10 sectors, various sectors: automobile, telecom, and many other sectors like pharma. There are a total of 10 sectors to which this scheme has been linked, this PLI. And one of the benefit of this PLI scheme is that it boosts exports and attract investment. Okay, so it means both local and domestic. So if you attract investment, obviously it has to come from the other outside. So both local as well as foreign players are involved. So this option, many local companies and some foreign companies operating in India have taken advantage. Yes, they have taken the advantage of this particular. So statement 1 is correct. And because India doesn't have the share of 3.2% of the global exports of goods, no, India doesn't have. However, statement 2 is correct. Next question, the Stability and Growth Pact of the EU is a treaty for what? It limits the level of budgetary deficit of the countries of the EU. A total of 27 countries are there in the EU. So it basically speaks of good public finance. Every year during the budget and economic survey, we listen carefully to the figure of budgetary deficit, fiscal deficit, this deficit, that deficit. All of such deficits had to be narrowed down. They had to be in a particular range. For example, in India, we have an act for that, FRBM Act, Fiscal Responsibility and Budgetary Management Act. So on similar line, the Stability and Growth Pact is also doing the same thing. So this particular option is correct. It makes the countries of the EU to share their infrastructure. No, it doesn't speak anything about the infrastructure facilities. It enables the countries of the EU to share their technology. No, it doesn't speak. It has to do with the sound finances. Here is the resource from the very EU side. It speaks of the sound public finances. Correct the excessive deficits. So only one is the answer. Next. Recently, all the countries of the UN have adopted the first ever compact for international migration, the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly and Regular Migration. the Global Compact for Migration. The objective and commitments stated in the GCM are binding on the UN member countries. Third, the GCM addresses internal migration or internally displaced people also in its objective and commitments. So yes, this is the source. So all the countries of the under the auspices of the United Nations agreed to come up with a covenant or a compact for addressing the issue of migration. So this option is correct. It says it is binding on the member countries. No, it is not binding. So this statement is wrong. Thirdly, it says that additionally it addresses the dimension of internal migration. Nowhere in this GCM they speak of internal migration. It does cover all the dimensions of migration, but international migrations. It doesn't speak of internal migration. You can go through this particular compact. Internal migration is also one serious issue, and if at all it was dealt with this particular compact, it would have found somewhere. It would have found mention in somewhere in this particular compact, but nowhere you can see the words internally displaced migration. It is for only international migration in a comprehensive way. So this option is wrong. So this is wrong. This is wrong. So only statement 1 is correct. So the answer becomes option A, that is only 1 is correct. Then consider the following countries: Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania. How many of the above mentioned countries share a land border with the countries? The answer is only 2, Romania and Hungary. There are other countries, but those are not present in the option. Bulgaria is south of Romania. It doesn't have a land border with the Ukraine. Czech Republic, it is to the east of the Slovakia. Previously it was Czechoslovakia. Then comes the separation, 2 different nations. So Czech Republic is east of this. It doesn't have the land boundary with the Ukraine. Hungary, yes, it does share. Latvia, it comes to the north of this Belarus, so it doesn't have the boundary with the Ukraine. Lithuania, again Lithuania comes to the east of Latvia towards this side, so they don't share the land boundary with the Ukraine. And Romania, yes, it does. So out of these 6 countries, only 2, Hungary and Romania, these 2 countries, they share a land boundary with the Ukraine. So answer is A, only 2. Next, with reference to Earth's atmosphere, which of the following statement is correct? The total amount of insolation received at equator is which there are like 4 statements, and we will have to find out the correct one. Statement A: the total amount of insolation received at the equator is roughly about 10 times of that received at the poles. See, this is the curvature, and the area of insolation is concentrated. Here it is much more. So because of these two reasons, the insolation received here is more as compared to this, but not this much difference. This is like too much of difference, 10 times. Here I don't know whether you can make it out. It is said that 2.5, the difference is 2.5. I checked somewhere, the insulation was like average insulation, the unit is like watts per square meter. So average insulation at equator is somewhere 70 watts per square meter, and at the 320 something, 320, and at the poles it is to the tune of 70. So this is not 10 times, close to 2.53 times. So this statement is wrong. Infrared rays constitute roughly 2/3 of the insolation. This is the source. So of the total insolation, the visible light is 43% and infrared is 49%, that is 1/2. Here they are saying 2/3, that is way much higher. So again this is wrong. Infrared rays. So infrared waves are largely absorbed by the water vapor that is concentrated in the lower atmosphere. Yes, this is correct. And water vapor is one greenhouse gas because of this very particular reason, because they trap the waves and the energy and heat along with that. The source is here. Yes, they do trap water vapor, they do trap the infrared waves. Finally, infrared waves are a part of visible spectrum. No, not at all. We all have learned this electromagnetic spectrum in the school. So this is the visible spectrum, very small, tiny, from V to R, that is VGR. This is violet and this is red, and infrared is beyond this red, so that is why it is called as infrared. Here you can see this is infrared, so it is beyond the visible spectrum. It is not part of a visible spectrum. So infrared waves are part of visible spectrum. This is wrong. So only this statement is correct. Next statement: when the soil in the tropical rainforest is rich in nutrients, the high temperature and moisture of tropical rain, the high temperature and moisture of the tropical rainforest cause dead organic matter in the soil to decompose quickly. So many people will consider that, as there is both in terms of quantity and diversity, these tropical rainforests are rich, so the soil has to be rich. But no, the tropical rainforest soil, which is oxysols or UT soil, contradictorily they are nutrient poor. The reason behind that, because of heavy incessant rain and whatever nutrients, they are leached from the soil runoff. Secondly, as there is high temperature and moisture, all this leads to intense microbial activity. So whatever dead matter is there, it is very easily decomposed and taken away right away. So again, that particular thing. And one more, the soil is sort of clayey. So all these factors, they lead into the soil being nutrient poor. So this particular statement is wrong. And this high temperature moisture of tropical rainforest causes dead organic matter in the soil to decompose quickly. Yes, that is correct. So statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Next question: the temperature contrast between the continents and ocean is greater during the summer than in winter. The specific heat of water is more than that of land surface. Yes. This is like oceans and this is continents. So as the specific heat of water is more, that is like 4.18 joules per gram degree Celsius, it is more than that of land. So it takes time to heat up as compared to the land. Land gets heat up very quickly related to the water. Okay, so there is a difference that we all have learned in the geography. And and the basic reason for that is the specific heat. What is specific heat? If you take unit quantity of an element, and if you want to raise the temperature of that element by 1 degree Celsius, how much of heat is required? That is called as specific heat. So the specific heat of land, if suppose it is like this, that of water is like at least 4 times, 1:4. So that's why the water takes more times to heat up, and similarly it takes more time to lose the heat as well. So this is the difference, and the difference arises due to the insolation. Okay, and as insolation is more in summer region, so this difference, this is the differential, so it gets accelerated or intensified in summer. Okay, because that is the basis of this difference, the insolation is more in the summer as compared to in winter. So this difference will only get augmented. So this particular difference you can see more in summer as compared to winter. However, the specific heat, whether it is summer, winter, monsoon, retreating monsoon, whatever related with the season, the specific heat is a constant. It doesn't change with the seasons. So this is not the explanation for this. Okay, the explanation is that insolation is more, the specific heat remains same. So this cannot be the reason for this. So only so the correct option should be both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1, because specific heat being a constant, it doesn't change with the season. So based on the specific, you can't say that during winter the difference is much, or during the summers the difference is much. No, the difference is there, of course, but it is because of the insolation. Next, consider the following statement. In a seismograph, P waves are recorded earlier than the S waves. Statement 2. In P waves, the individual particles vibrate to and fro, that is parallel, in the direction of the wave propagation, whereas in S waves, the particle vibrate up and down, that is at right angles to the directions of the wave propagation. So see, this is the wave and this is the surface through which they are passing, the P waves and S waves. So when earthquake happens, there are two types of waves. One is body waves and then surface waves. Body waves are again divided into two, primary and this shear waves. So in primary waves, the individual particles, they are vibrating parallel to the direction of the wave motion, and you can see the phenomenon of this. You can see these, they are like contracting, the particles are contracting, they are coming near here and they are stretching. Okay, so because of this, the land surface through which they pass, it gets damaged. So this statement is correct, that the motion of particles is to and fro, that is parallel, and whereas in S waves it is up and down, that it creates crest and troughs. So this particular statement is correct. And P waves, yes, P waves travels faster than the and are first to arrive at the surface. Okay, so they are, that's why they are recorded earlier, because they are fast. And additionally, these primary waves, they can transfer through all the media, that is solid, liquid, gaseous. However, this shear waves, they can pass only through solid material. So both of these two statements are correct. The P waves being fast, they are recorded earlier at the seismograph, and P waves, when they propagate through the medium, the grains or the particles of that material, they vibrate to and fro or parallel. And in S waves, when the wave moves, the particle doesn't move like this, the particle goes like this, up and down, that is perpendicular. So we have completed 25 more questions. A total of 75 questions have been done. This was the third part of the series that we are conducting, that is UPSC 2023 का जो प्रीलिम्स एग्ज़ाम हुआ है उसका आंसर की, प्रोबेबल आंसर की वी आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट। एंड तो अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो इसको लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब कीजिए। और अभी लास्ट पार्ट रहता है इसका, द लास्ट 25 क्वेश्चंस दैट वी विल डू इन द नेक्स्ट पार्ट। धन्यवाद।